Good day, everyone. James Stephanie Sterling here. Voice for the voiceless? No. Just plain voiceless. It was my UK debut in the wrestles on Saturday. I chokeslammed a Tory. I'm now a top babyface. Who'd have thought? But my voice is now completely gone. Little bit croaky on today's video, so I hope you can stomach that. It's loud out here.
Galaga Wars Plus is not a game you might expect me to dedicate an entire episode of this show to. In fact, many of you likely wouldn't expect there to be much worth discussing under any circumstances. However, I've been playing Galaga Wars Plus pretty much daily since it arrived on the Apple Arcade store, and I am thrilled to be able to tell you that I've had an absolutely dreadful time with the vile little piece of shit. Apple Arcade may not be as impressive a deal as the Xbox platform's Game Pass, but in a market built almost entirely around microtransaction-fueled scam jobs, having a service on iOS that offers complete ad-free quality mobile games bereft of in-app purchases is a bit of a boon, especially to someone like me who once saw the promise and potential in mobile gaming only to witness it be squandered on shady, self-playing scam jobs like Raid Shadow Legends. For $5 a month, having access to a range of titles including Little Orpheus, Grindstone and Fantasian is a pretty sweet arrangement as far as I'm concerned. I'm pretty satisfied with what Apple Arcade offers, with regular updates that turn out at least a handful of solid to great games at a fairly consistent rate. But not all games on Apple Arcade are designed to be full, complete, feature-rich experiences, and Galaga Wars Plus is one of these exceptions. Exceptions that grant one quite a bit of insight if they're as interested in ruinous, profiteering game design as I am. Some Apple Arcade games were not designed for the arcade at first, but instead started life as one of those aforementioned microtransaction-led cons. And when one such con is repurposed and re-released on Apple Arcade, it lays thoroughly bare exactly how bad a game can be when it's designed not for fun, but entirely for profit. Galaga Wars Plus is one such game. The non-Plus version is crammed with in-app purchases, and the entire game is structured around them. When it was shunted onto Apple Arcade as Galaga Wars Plus, the developers simply didn't bother rebalancing the game in any way whatsoever. So what you're left with is an impressively stark look at how broken, how grueling, how thoroughly unfun a free-to-play game is when you disable the shortcuts and are left with nothing but an unacceptable level of grind and regret. The foundation of Galaga Wars Plus is as straightforward and simple as it gets. It's a shoot 'em up on your phone. You use your finger to drag a ship around the screen while it automatically fires at waves of enemies. Occasionally power-ups spawn that grant you limited extra firepower, alongside coins, tokens and warp drives, which we'll cover in a moment. And that's it, really. That's pretty much what the game is. A simple, straightforward shmup that could be quite capable of providing an entertaining little experience if it had actually been designed to entertain its players rather than browbeat, manipulate, and outright aggravate them into spending money on the fucking thing. So, how bad is Galaga Wars Plus? It's really fucking bad. So beautifully bad, in fact, that it's wonderfully educational in its blatant showcase of just how much of a nothing these free-to-play mobile games are once you disable the grifting aspect. First and foremost, you get one hit, one life, and it's game over. That's it. You collide with an enemy once and it's game over. You get shot once and it's game over. Death comes quick, quiet and thoroughly unsatisfactorily in this game, as you'll be finding a groove and suddenly realise you took a little ding and it's all gone. This is, of course, by design. The sudden, unceremonious death is meant to disappoint you, to frustrate you, to convince you to spend currency to keep on playing, which you can indeed do, if you grind enough and don't need that currency. for all the other shit you can buy. There are ways to get more lives, but this is where the real grind comes in. Let me explain. There are a range of additional ships you can unlock, each with their own designs and their own unique power-ups. They also act as your lives. If one of your unlocked ships is hit during the game, you can pick up where you left off with another unlocked one. Sounds interesting, until you figure out exactly how excruciatingly fucking grinding the unlock process actually is. Ships cost special tokens, and you can only obtain a limited number of credits per day, as one credit spawns once per day, once per level. There are 11 levels by my count, which means you can potentially score 11 credits a day. Yeah. It takes dozens of credits to unlock a single ship. I currently have 3 ships, including the starter. It took like a week to get there, and my next unlock costs 55 fucking credits. 55. And I haven't reached level 11 yet, so I can't even obtain the max number of credits per day. The sheer level of grinding required to obtain these ships is borderline inconceivable. We're talking weeks. Months even. The final ship on the roster, Pac-Man, costs a dizzying 150 credits. It's something I'll simply never achieve because this is game progression that has been mercilessly broken by design. And I'm just not going to be able to put up with that. It's broken design designed to break you. As a side note, I love how theoretically you can unlock ships in any order, but you're explicitly incentivized not to choose that order. I could, on paper, grind daily and save up all my credits to get Pac-Man or Katamari. You know, the really fun high-end shit. However, because ships equal lives, and lives equal more gameplay and higher odds of obtaining the currency needed to progress, it makes no logical sense to save up. Just get what you can afford to get more lives. So it is that you're encouraged to stay in a loop of constant grinding and spending, grinding and spending. And with each expenditure, the cost of the next expense grows ever more astronomical. This tail-chasing approach to player spending is at the core of Galaga Wars' philosophy. You can upgrade every single ship by collecting coins and spending them on each individual power-up to increase their duration and effectiveness. The more you upgrade a power-up, the more expensive the next upgrade becomes. And even worse, the longer it takes for the upgrade to be complete. Oh, that's right, folks. Galaga Wars is free to wait on top of all the other bollocks. Even in the Apple Arcade version, because this release was shat out by fucking hacks, there are arbitrary wait times for upgrading your ships, which you can, of course, speed up by spending even more goddamn coins. You'll be expected to spend hundreds, then thousands of coins before waiting minutes, then hours of real time in order to apply a single upgrade to any one of your ships. The more ships you'll unlock, the more there'll be to upgrade, and the more utterly overwhelmed you'll become by a constant need to spend. The game will proudly tell you that the upgrades become cheaper the more ships you have, but it doesn't really work out in practice because the more you have, the more you need to spend anyway. The thing about this game is that every incremental step of progress you make extends the stride needed for the next one. The more I explain this, the more fucking angry I become, because this is simply antagonistic game design. It's not just manipulative, it's an attack on whatever poor sap tries to play it. It's fucking malicious, and I'm not even done. As well as needing coins to upgrade ships and credits to unlock ships, you'll also need warp cores or drives or whatever to select a level, unless you want to start from the beginning every single time you play. Of course, if you're trying to collect credits to unlock ships, you'll want to fast travel so you can play on the levels you need that spawn the credits. But in order to do that, you need to spend these warp drives every single time. Naturally, the later the level, the more warp drives you'll need to spend each time, so you'll still be grinding plenty in order to maintain a constant supply of them. But oh, if it were that simple, it'd be enough of a fucking hassle. It's not that simple, oh fucking no. See, in order to even unlock a level for fast travel, you have to spend even more fucking coins. Yes, it's not enough to reach that level through gameplay to unlock it. You have to reach that level and then pay to make it warpable. And because this game is an atrocious vampire, the deeper the level, the more coins it costs. I'm currently as far as level 7, and I need 2,000 coins in order to unlock it for fast travel. 2,000 coins. The same coins I need thousands of to upgrade ships and then to complete those upgrades if I don't want to wait hours for them. The same coins it badgers me to spend to keep playing if I run out of lives. Coins, coins, coins. If this sounds like the recipe for a repetitive, punishing, astoundingly unappealing slog, then I've done the perfect job describing it really, because that's what Galaga Wars Plus is. It has the nucleus of a game that could have been satisfying if everything around the core loop hadn't been vandalized and brutalized to support an all-out psychological attack on the end user. This game was not designed to be fun, and it shows. It was designed to be addictive at the most basic and visceral level, and then increasingly frustrating to convince anybody it sucks in that they need to spend money on it. The non-arcade version of Galaga Wars is fucking disgusting. Each ship individually costs between $3.99 and $4.99. Yes, each, with tens of thousands of coins available to buy for real-world amounts of $2.99, $4.99, and $7.99. There's also a coin doubler for $3, one of those time-saver microtransactions that the game industry loves so much, and a goddamn welcome pack, which just makes my skin crawl as a concept. And it's full of ads as well! Endless, interrupting ads, because being a soulless, abusive, spiteful little scam wasn't enough on its own. Seriously, you pull all the shit this game pulls and still decide you should throw ads at your player? Fuck you, you hateful fucking scumbags. Seriously, go get fucking fucked! Galaga Wars Plus, as part of Apple Arcade, can't laden itself with ads and in-app purchases, but when those are pulled away, you're left with a product so flimsy and pathetic that to call it a shell makes it sound much fuller than it is. It has all the grind and exasperation of its freemium cousin, with no way to speed any of it up, which makes you wonder what the fucking point is. And as I scrape the grooves of my highly textured brain to try and suss out such a point, I can only think of one, and it's insidious. Galaga Wars Plus didn't improve its gameplay when it came to Apple Arcade because it's a Trojan horse. They don't want there to be a better alternative. The freemium version is still readily available on the App Store with all its microtransactions in place. The only logic I can see in releasing it twice without any overhauls to the arcade version is to simply do to arcade players what the freemium game was designed to do in the first place with an extra step. Get under the player's skin, hook them, and simultaneously piss them off enough to make them want to skip the grind and offer a solution with money. It feels, somewhat sinisterly, like Galaga Wars Plus is just an advertisement for Galaga Wars. Like they're circumventing the point of Apple Arcade in the shittiest way. Here's the version without microtransactions. See how bad it is? But hey, you can always download the free-to-play version and buy your way to fun. It could be that. Or it could be the developers really are such lazy, witless hack fucks that they couldn't be fucked to make it better. Either they're duplicitous evil twats, or they're idle evil twats. Either way, they're evil twats. Galaga Wars Plus isn't the only purchase-led game that was shoehorned onto Apple Arcade with the purchases awkwardly stripped out. Castlevania Grimoire of Souls is another example of how exposingly shit these games are once unequivocally divorced from the premium methods in which alleged fun can be obtained. But Galaga Wars is an example so illuminatingly obvious that I practically cherish it. Make no mistake, I fucking loathe Galaga Wars Plus and the miserable time I've spent with it, but few games have so perfectly showcased how compromised game design is by microtransactions, and how little the developers of such games prioritize your enjoyment as a player. Like I said, Galaga Wars was literally not designed to be fun, and it shows. It wears its contempt for the notion of entertainment on its sleeve. Fuck you for that, Galaga Wars, but also, thank you. Your unsubtle grotesquerie has proven very, very intellectually valuable.
I'm going to go now because Phoenix, who's holding the camera, has gotten really paranoid about breathing, and they've been holding their breath this whole time, so thank God for me. You can breathe now. Fine.